This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
Totally, yes.
It's an absolute riot, and the only movie that can be described as
So much weirder than the last time.
What last time?
it's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
What deeply out of touch old person came up with that?
You did.
Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
It's Wednesday Addams. I see you're trying to distract yourself from your own banal thoughts. Let me help. Here's a recording thing made of my latest root canal.
Wednesday, Season 2, begins August 6th, only on Netflix.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
We're live. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Criminal Mischief Nation, to another bonus episode. I'm one of your hosts, Brandon Morgan, along with the great Carolyn Osorio. Hello, Carolyn. Nice to see you again.
Hello. Hello, Brandon. Hello. How are you? You've got
I'm
LA.
doing well.
You've
Thanks
got
for
your
doing
LA cap on today. No Yankees.
Yeah. I left the Yankee
Yeah.
hat in the car, and I don't want to go out there. I'd rather stay inside
Why?
right now. So,
Because it's too sunny? Because it's too sunny for you?
Because I'm lazy. Because I'm lazy right now. I've been glued to my desk all day, and I just had to get some work done. So I figured I'll just use the hat that's close at hand. But thanks for noticing. Oh,
You're
you
welcome.
noticed my hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. But what I was noticing is I want to reach over there and just pull it down a little bit, just like,
like that?
You have it. You always have it up high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't you like it to go in the
What can I tell
back? Don't you like it to have it go in the back? Yeah. It's like
I usually
don't
wear
you
it
like to-
backwards. It's usually backwards.
I'm familiar
which
with
is
that,
cool.
and that. Yeah.
It's a cleaner look,
Mhm.
But since I cut all my hair off, I don't really have to wear a hat that much.
I know. I don't. Oh, so that's why you were wearing the hat to like contain your locks? Was that what
Yeah,
that's
to
about?
contain the hair. Yeah. If not, I looked like a crazy. What was that from? From the Dead Poets Society. Okay. When Ethan Hawke is afraid to come up and do his poem, he didn't do the assignment, and Robin Williams calls him up and makes him do like a spoken word thing, on the spot. And he's got a picture of Walt Whitman up on the wall, and he says, "What do you see there?" He goes, "I see a sweaty tooth madman." That's what I would look like, a sweaty tooth madman, because my hair was stupid. But I thought it was super cool for a long time. But I was the only one it looked like, so I finally cut it, and
I mean, to be honest with you,
but anyway,
it's hard for me to trust the clean Brandon because I'm used to the dirty one.
yeah, sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, who is this?
I know. And even now, in a dirty beard and an old flannel, I'm the clean Brandon. It's weird, right? You realize?
I know.
It's a pretty low standard you've set for cleanliness.
Hey, you know what? I'm just going with what I have to work with. See, I just meet people where they're at, Brandon.
Yeah. It's funny. People tell me, they say, you can tell where a person thinks fashion peaked by how they still dress. Okay. And so for me, I wear flannel shirts and jeans and boots all the time. People say, oh, grunge. I'm like, no, Springsteen did it 10 years before Nirvana and Pearl Jam did it. Okay. So that's where it stopped for me in the mid 80s. All right. Wrap your brain around that.
I know, but see, I'm thinking 90s, so you're speaking my language because, like, well, what kind of boots are we talking about? Let me.
Just,
what kind of boots?
like it's regular old, just black leather lace up, like combat boots, basically. But not like Doc Martens, not like Doc Martens or anything crazy. Just like black ankle high like boots. I wear Wolverine boots. If anyone knows boots out there, they're great. 1,000-mile boots. They're terrific. Yeah, really simple.
Okay.
Really simple. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Love them.
So what did you think about our chat with Mr. Bill Cannon, Sergeant?
He's very
Bill Cannon.
Listen. Here's what I liked about Bill Cannon. He's a very polished entertainer, right? You can tell that. Like I broke his balls a little bit about being a stand-up comic, but stand-up comedy is one of the hardest things to do in entertainment. Improv comedy and stand-up comedy, and they're the opposite ends of the spectrum, right? A good stand-up comedian, unless it's someone, there's some really good people who just do crowd work, which is all like improv. But if you're doing like a tight five that is so highly rehearsed, the pacing, the beats, when you drop the punchline, like all of that, right? It's really rehearsed. And so he was great, very well spoken, really proud of his career, and I found it my duty to get the New Yorker out of him a little bit every now and then, right? Try and get him to swear sometimes, and I got him there a few times, but he was very polished. He knew, the facts, forward and backward. I think he's got some old school cop in him, which is great, because he was one of those guys who bridged pre-technology and post-technology, right? Like he was a detective in New York before the late 80s, early 90s, right? Before everything was computerized, when he was still typing reports probably on a typewriter, okay? And then transitioned into the internet age and using that as an investigative tool. And we touched on it a little bit because I'm sure that, it's a net gain for police work, right? But if you talk to cops, they're like, it's a lot different when everybody's got a video camera in their pocket, I'm like, what do you, when they say that, I'm like, what do you mean? Is it harder? Is it harder because you can't get away with shit, right? You can't maybe lean on somebody or smack them around, or what they say, tune them up a little. Yeah, maybe. Right. But so that, I find that character interesting because he is kind of like the law enforcement version of a Gen Xer, right? Because that's how we grew up. We lived a very full, awesome, crazy life pre-internet, and then here we are post-internet raising kids who never knew a pre-internet existence, So
I know it is
reason.
kind of. I like that juxtaposition. I think that's really spot on. But it's funny that you try your goal in the interview is to try to bring out the New Yorker in him. That's your goal. I always try to I like to bring out the emotion in people, not for them to swear. I'm just like, I think it's interesting because I like it when you can get people to say things that they wouldn't say to anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you don't want the same thing that somebody's already said. So I think that's interesting that you're trying to get that New Yorker coming out.
Yeah, I want to get that out. I want people to hear that because, a lot of times people have a preconceived set of expectations about what a New York cop is, and if you look at him and talk to him for 2 minutes, you might walk away thinking that, okay, yeah, that's what he is. He's like a gruff, blah, 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 whatever. But, obviously educated, intelligent, knows procedure stuff, knows, what happens post-arrest, okay, in the prosecutorial phase of getting someone put into jail, So, yeah, I enjoyed it. But also he wasn't, I don't think we didn't get all of Detective Cannon, right? Like we didn't
Oh,
get all,
no,
I
absolutely
was
not.
trying to, yeah, right. I was trying to get him in some other ways, but he
I
said,
know.
like I'd want to know, like, what did yeah, like what would he really think about Chief Burke and how Chief Burke kind of fucked everything up? Like if it was just me and Cannon like sitting around talking, how he was not having interagency kind of cooperation because he was trying to hide shit that he was doing and didn't want a lot of detectives who are trained to look for, shit like that to discover him. And so how much
Well,
time was lost in the investigation.
and that's why I don't think I do well in the military or in law enforcement, because
Mm,
it's like they have that kind of structure where it's like, and I'm not saying people who do work within the military or police, don't have their own minds, but like how many investigators had to toe this line of this Burke and just feel like, what's happening? Why are we kicking the FBI out of here? Why, and
yeah,
not being able to say anything and just have to take it. I'm watching this
right,
show, this Netflix show that's like a number one show right now. It's called Griselda. And it's basically like, this drug godmother, and I can't remember who the actress is, but she's freaking amazing. And anyway, there's a female detective who's just trying to be a detective, and she's got these great ideas, and this is in the 70s, and of course these assholes are like holding her down and not listening to her, and go make coffee, honey, and go write a report and all that. And it's like she's got these
right.
great ideas, and that would drive me insane, where it's like you have to follow a crappy leader, and
Yep.
they suck, and you just have to do it, because if you don't, you're gonna, what, you could ruin your career. I don't know. I mean, and I feel like this
Did
is
you
that
watch
case.
Yeah.
What?
Did you watch Band of Brothers on HBO?
What did you say?
Did you watch Band
I
of
loved
Brothers?
it. Are you kidding me?
Right. So at
Yes,
the
I
end,
loved
when
it. Are you kidding me?
Major Winters, Major Winters, when he says, "We salute the rank, not the man." You know what I mean? Because he had to put up with
And
a
that
leader
was
that he found to be very ineffective, like the whole time, and but he followed the rules and he towed the line and he did what he did and took the chances he needed to take, and he wound up outranking the guy, and teaching him a lesson in a very civilized way. He could have been like a total dick to that guy, but instead he showed him up, but he showed him up in a way that wasn't ego driven. But so, and this guy, the Chief Burke, he winds up uh, with getting caught having sex in the park, right? And that's what
well,
makes everything like,
that was after all the corruption, when he did his flasher move, and then but I mean, before that, so this guy, see, they, for a long time, people thought that he was involved with the murders.
right.
And so, I mean, obviously they haven't had any evidence to support that, because, he was never arrested for that. But I just think that, what do you think of this guy? Because I'm sure did you even know about this part of the case?
No,
Where
I didn't know about it at all. I didn't know about it at all. And that's what I wanted to talk about mostly here, was because of it's the kind of policing that scares you, right? That a guy would
yeah.
rise to this level of leadership and be
Mhm.
this corrupt and this just kind of blasé with people's lives and with the killer on the street, and just worried about masking his deeds, right, to keep himself out of jail or to keep himself, whatever, and nothing else mattered to him. Like, how does a guy like that slip through the cracks? How is a character, such a character as flawed as that, keep getting promoted up through the ranks? That's what's scary.
Well, and I think that's what I think, like, okay, so I put that cut in with the current police commissioner, who I think is amazing, and who's the one that assembled that task force. So I could see why he wouldn't want to touch this with a 10-foot
Yeah,
pole.
sure, of
What
course.
the reporter asked was like, so why was the FBI kicked out so many years ago? And he's like, well, I don't want to talk about what happened in the past. I mean, because it's like, who wants to bring out like this dirty laundry that basically tanked the case for over 10 years?
Right, you're talking about
When,
Rodney Harrison, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, this could have been solved. So, based on the work of the task force, I mean, this could have been solved a long time ago,
Yep. Oh, wow.
I mean, that avalanche, the ogre, that description, I mean,
And
that
they found the
was
car.
exactly.
They found the car. Google Earth finds the car. Here's the car. Here's the guy. He's got burner phones. Like it's like a neon sign pointing to this fucking guy. But meanwhile, this dude is like, I'm going to go hook up in the park real quick, or I'm going to do all this other shit. But so that was a little disturbing, right? That would happen as long as it did. But then, so where does Geraldine Hart fit in, the female commissioner? Was she just kind of like a placeholder for a little while, or?
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
I think that, she was a historic placement there, the first female police
in
commissioner
Suffolk
in
County.
Suffolk County, which I think, was basically a clear message of like, get these good old boys out of here.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just Burke. I think it was the prosecutor, and I don't know enough about it to speak about it in terms of like, I've just watched other, listened to other podcasts and stuff like that. But there was some other collusion happening to protect Burke. And so that's why it went on for as long as it did before he basically had to resign because he knew he was getting arrested. Yeah. So I think that she was definitely a breath of fresh air. And like she released the photos of the belt. And I think they were hoping to get somebody recognizing that belt. I mean, it was a very specific, old school kind of belt with the, initials embossed in it. And I just don't think they got any traction. I don't know why a task force wasn't, started then, but it's certainly, obviously the fruits of it with Rodney Harrison, was soon, they were able to crack this open really quick.
And it's WPIX. Okay.
WPIX.
Right. They don't say PIX.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem.
Got it.
No problem.
Did you just call me bro?
No, I said no problem.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
right.
no, I wouldn't.
Well, that's what the teenagers. That's what my son. It's like.
Oh, really? Everyone's bro.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's yeah.
But here's the thing. Anybody who grew up in the tri-state area.
Okay, I was waiting for the
They're going to be screaming. They're going to be screaming that I'm not exactly right with WPIX. WPIX was a local station. Okay, and. It was the strangest thing, but I have such distinct memories of it as a kid. And anybody right now is going, I fucking know what he's about to say. So there was an interactive video game, okay, in the 80s that happened live in the 3:00 news hour, okay, on WPIX.
This is the 80s. The kids are watching.
It wasn't news. I'm sorry, it wouldn't be news. It would be before the news started when a bunch of kids were watching. So like after school
special.
After school programming.
After school special.
Okay. So what you had to do was you had to write into WPIX and say, yo, I'd like to play the game. Okay. And so then what they would do, if you won, I never won, you'd get a call on the fucking landline and they say, okay, it's Brandon in Jefferson, New Jersey, and you're gonna play. And it was basically like Space Invaders. They would put it on the TV and everyone watching WPIX is watching it. And I guess they had one person in the control room with the controller and they would shoot when you said PIX into the phone, right? You would time it. You'd see like an alien going across the screen and the gun was at the bottom center of the screen and you go PIX. Picks. And no one ever did it well because there was a delay, right? And every now and then someone would just go, picks. And this poor person somewhere is just frantically fucking hitting the button. And if you hit enough aliens or whatever it was, you won a whatever fucking prize. But so that's the only time that people would say picks. Otherwise, it's WPIX.
Okay, so you called into the station to do this multiple
I tried
times?
and everybody did. It was a huge thing. It was huge. Did
you ever know anybody who got
I never
the
knew
call?
anybody. I never knew anybody either. But look, there's 15, 20 million people in the tri-state area. So it's your chances weren't great. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, but I never made it. But hey, it was it worked. We watched every day to see who would play the game, right? To see somebody would
Okay,
win.
WPIX. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So the belt thing didn't work out for Commissioner Hart. Okay. So then Rodney Harrison comes in. Obviously much more inclusive, does the task force. And I love his thing about no secret squirrels. That's great. That's the kind of policing that you want. And again, sorry for the pop culture references, but a lot of the answers to life's mysteries, I think, are answered in television shows from the 80s and 90s. And NYPD Blue had an episode where Sipowicz and Simone run into a secret squirrel to the point where he gave them bad information about where a perp might be. And Simone figured it out and he goes, this freaking guy, you think he really did he give us the wrong information on purpose? And Sipowicz, the wily vet, he goes, hey, come on. He's a detective. He's just like us and he's not going to do that, blah, 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 right? And then it turns out Simone was right. Sipowicz was trying to give the guy the benefit of the doubt and Simone dressed him down. And the guy's like, oh, sure, you got your gold shield like you and you don't want other people to get theirs. And Simone was like, I got where I'm at by a lot of hard work with my partner. If you give me bad information again, I'm kicking your ass. It was great. Okay. He exposed a secret squirrel because this guy was just out for himself to try and get enough arrests to get promoted. And it wasn't really about the work and it wasn't about collaborative work with the force or with your partner or any of that. And so it was a fucking great episode of TV. And that's what I thought of when
it's a great episode in TV because it's a great way to live your life.
Yeah,
but there's
absolutely.
so many people who just don't do that. And they have to and that's this part of the case, the Burke guy, the ultimate secret squirrel.
Yep.
That's how he would say it. That just drives me crazy. I can't, it's hard to move beyond.
It's a recipe for disaster. And I love this guy's, there was a book I read when I was in my 20s called Conceptual Blockbusting, which is just this problem solving, how to just think completely differently than you normally would. Forget there's nothing taboo, just find an answer that works, find a solution, right? And so by using correctional police.
Oh, I love that.
To help. That's amazing. Great, because these women spend time in jail. They probably talk to people. We can maybe get some information, and I'm sure the correctional police were like, fuck yeah, I'll help you solve this crime. Let's fucking do it, and you engender so much enthusiasm and a collaboration. I'm sure that would.
Well, it really resonated with me because after doing the Green River Killer investigation, where it's like, if they, there was such a brick wall between law enforcement at the time in the 80s and, sex workers who basically were like, they were treated like criminals, you know? And so there was just no reciprocity. There was no trust. There was like, they were, considered criminals. And so I think that,
right. Well, I mean, listen, let's to be honest, because according to the laws, they were criminals. Right. And so, but the police weren't seeing them as also possibly victims. Okay. And allies in getting actual bad guys off the street. Okay. And that was a big mountain to climb, and they're still climbing it today.
Absolutely. But when I heard that, I was like, that's such a great, let's look at every single possible avenue. Let's go through and here's the thing. I think it's like 97% of the time when you have a serial killer, they will say, I think the VDOC Society said this, which is the name's going to be in the file.
Wow.
Somebody,
really?
somebody talk to the guy, you know? And sure enough, that truck was in there,
Wow.
the ogre,
12
6'4",
years.
6'6".
Yeah.
I know.
12 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I have a question
Yeah.
because he kind of glossed over it a little bit. I don't know if it was
What?
on purpose or not.
What?
Let's talk about Dave and Amber Costello.
Yeah.
Okay. So they ran a scam on him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They totally ran a scam on him.
Yeah.
All right. He's going to give me the money. Then you come in and pretend you're the jealous boyfriend and we'll keep the money and I won't have to have
I
sex with you.
mean, a
I mean, that gets people
6'4",
fucking killed.
6'4", 6'6" ogre with glass. Have you seen this monster?
Yeah,
I would
I
have
have.
done that.
I have.
Brandon, come here. Let's do the ruse. Come
But
on. Come on.
what I'm saying, you know how dangerous that is?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really, really fucking
Yeah.
dangerous. Especially what they didn't know is that this guy's also a serial killer. So you think, what do you think? He's going to forget about it? No, he's going to come back and but
Yeah.
anyway, so
I mean, and that was the thing with those burner phones, and that just shows his, hubris in that he thought, hey, even though Dave has seen me,
yeah,
even though they ran this scam on me and took my money, and I've reached out to her on the burner phone, I'm gonna entice her to come out again,
give me another
probably
chance.
offer her,
Yeah.
and she did, you know,
And probably the
for
deal
this.
was, but Dave doesn't come along because you burned me once,
Well, I think one of the I'm not sure which one of the four victims this happened to, but I think one of them he offered like $1,500. She needed to pay her rent. She was going to be evicted, and it's like $1,500 is and when you're desperate, $100 is when you're
Oh,
desperate.
it could be
I mean,
it could make
$1,500.
a difference.
It could make all the things
100%.
that you tell yourself, it's like, I mean, I get that. And I
Yep.
think that whatever he offered her, it overcame, the fear that she may have had and wanted him out of her place. I don't know.
Another thing about Detective Cannon, he really wants Huerman's wife to be wrong about something in this. He's like, she
Oh, he
knew,
does.
she knew. Oh, she's looking the other way. He's doing stuff. I'm not. And I asked him legitimately. I'm like, is that criminal? Is she?
Yeah. I loved that question. I love that,
And
Brandon.
it wasn't. She hasn't
I
done anything
know.
wrong, right? I guess, or
Yeah,
she'd be in jail.
absolutely. But we talked about this before. I mean, the having her, if your hairs were entwined in these crime scenes, and you find out your husband is like, I mean, that has just got to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something else that really bothered me about this I didn't know why until I remembered this. I guess it was a meme or something that my brother sent me. He said, in every marriage, there's one of the people loads the dishwasher like a Scandinavian architect, and the other one loads the dishwasher like a raccoon on meth. Okay. And I found that to be really true. I'm meticulous about loading the dishwasher. My wife, it's like she's doing it blindfolded. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm, in your wife's camp. So just so you know.
You're the meth head raccoon. Okay, great. I get it.
You know what? No, I'm actually not that. I am kind of a combination of both, where I have my process and I need the process to be the way that I do it. And I know what are you looking down at?
Because there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it.
Get it.
They're designed specifically for the items in your kitchen that need to be cleaned. Okay,
I don't want to don't try to put me in a mold.
No, regardless. Hold on. Just hold on a second. So when I hear a successful architect lives in a hoarder house, that seems antithetical to me.
I think it did to a lot of people. Yeah.
Right. You would think like a place for everything in its place. The guy's got a design-oriented brain. He would be, organized and calm and conducive to rational thought. And now it's a fucking hoarder house with shit everywhere.
I know, but here's the thing that, this made so much sense to me when I talked to Cheryl Mack McCollum, both of we fangirl over her, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And she said, that's how he wants it, sugar. He wants to
Jeez,
have
if I
it
close
look
my
like,
eyes, I think it's Mac. If I close my eyes, it's like Mac's here.
honey,
Sugar,
honey.
I love me some ex-wives. Sorry.
There you go. I knew I could bring it out of you. I know.
That's
Show
right.
me an ex-wife, honey.
It's great.
She said, and I think this is true, he wanted that house to look like that. Don't even come anywhere close. Like, we don't want you coming to our door.
It was like porcupine quills. It's a warning. Stay away. Right?
Exactly. The lawn was not kept. There was 2x4s, hon. We're holding up the house. It was
Holding
2x4s.
up the cement. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that it's like there's obviously he knew how to do stuff. He was an architect and he knew, he could call, have builders come and fix his place if he didn't know, whatever. Right. He didn't want that image. He wanted people to stay away,
Wow. Well, the impact statement from the sister was very powerful.
Yeah.
Yep, super powerful. As was the statement from Ms. Allred.
Yes.
At the end. And one more thing about Cannon, just giving us some insight. I think it's a fairly obvious kind of conclusion to draw, but it's interesting hearing it from someone with his law enforcement experience that there's no death penalty in New York, right? So if you're hoping for answers of this guy, if he's got more bodies to his name or whatever, if he goes down for these 4, he's gone forever, right? And the only bargaining chips that the state has is we could make your time a little easier on the inside. Clear up some questions for us, right? We promise you it won't get any worse. We'll give you like some fucking ice cream once a week or Netflix account, whatever it is. Okay. And just tell us what else is going on. And you kind of hamstrung if that's all that you have, because you could have someone like Ridgway or like Bundy or like, I'm not telling you shit. Fuck off. Do your worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this reminded me of when he said that of, Peter Vronsky, and he is the one that with, I'm spacing on her name, but she was the daughter of one of his victims, and she befriended him because she wanted to find the remains of her mother, but she also wanted to help. They knew that he was good for so many more. And so they had the time, these two had the time to go and sit with him and listen to him talk about hoagies and, the best place to get a grinder in New York City. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about the actual place to go on like 55th Street or something?
Yeah, I mean, if he has got I'll always hear a recommendation from a good hoagie. I don't care if they're a serial killer.
Okay, stop. Good hoagie. Wait, the point is that I understand how law enforcement would not. What? You want to take a break so you can go get a hoagie?
Thinking about it, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that they have the time to talk to him, and they don't have the police don't necessarily have the time to go and sit in his messed up playland where he gets to just reminisce and talk about all that stuff, right? Yeah. So I think that this guy, who knows? I listened to an interview where he it sounds like his personality is he loves to brag about himself and he loves to just constantly talk about himself.
Huerman does?
Yeah. Wow. I heard somebody kind of describe him as that. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Wow. Well, they're not really fast tracking it, right?
I mean, no, I don't think they have any reason to. But what's going to be interesting is if they find out the identities of, some of the other victims. They already know who some of them are and kind of piece together. There's also, connections to Las Vegas and I believe South Carolina. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the drop in. That was, it was interesting, especially in light of some new information. And, we got some good news today. Do you want to talk about the press release, or what do you want to do?
Well, you do the honors.
Yes, so proud to
We've had to be
announce.
quiet. We've had to be quiet for so long.
I know we have had to be quiet. So Pie in the Sky Media, the company that produces Criminal Mischief, also owns the rights to Carolyn's earlier show, The Shadow Girls. That has been developed into a television series, a documentary series called The Imperfect Witness. And Pie in the Sky has partnered with Cream Productions out of Toronto, Canada, to bring the story to the small screen. So it was announced today, a small announcement that was tailored specifically for a television marketplace convention that's happening down in New Orleans. But there'll be more information coming out in the coming months. So, Carolyn, congratulations. Hard work pays off.
Branden, quit trying to give me all the credit. Branden's, just as he's my
Along
partner
for the
in
ride.
crime as much as I want to beat him up half the time.
Along for the ride. Along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. We've been working towards this, and there's other things that we can't yet share that we've been really chomping at the bit to share. But, it's definitely an exciting step. And if you haven't, check out the Shadow Girls podcast. It was written and hosted by me, but also produced by Branden, and could not have done that without him. And anyway, it's all good news.
Yep, it was a hit show. We peaked at number 7 in the world. That's nothing to scoff at. So very, very proud of that show, and not surprised.
Well, and I feel, you know what? I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry,
okay.
But because when I felt like, I know you don't believe in fate and things happening and all that, but when I heard that Gloria Allred, her interview, and I saw her when I watched that press release, and it just, the timing of it, right when we were about ready to announce our project that we've worked so hard, behind the scenes, believed in it so much, believed in Rebecca's story, believed in the people that we're working with, and believe that they can help us, tell the story the way that we feel that it should be told, with the layers and the, it just, listening to her at this time, it just was so yes, this is why I wanted to get into this genre. This is why I wanted to do this. And it's not like I'm some hero at all. I mean, at all. It's just that, someone like Gloria, I really look up to, because, she really helps people. And,
does.
What she said is so true. It's open season. When these guys get away with this stuff and nobody does anything, and the Burkes of the world are allowed to exist and thwart justice, and these poor families, sitting on the side of Gilgo Beach with their signs, to mark another year going by and nothing happening. And it's just heartbreaking,
Well,
and
look,
so
for every Burke, there's a Harrison. Okay. And
yes, I love that. And there's an Allred, and there's an Allred.
Of course. And to quote one of my heroes, MLK, the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice. And so, every time it's just a little bit more and a little bit more, and one day we'll get there. So well done. Yeah. And congrats again on the closing of the deal. It was a lot of work to get there, but we're there, and looking forward to what's coming next. So that'll do it for this week, Nation. Thank you for spending some time with us. If you are so inclined, head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review our show. Share with anybody who you think might like it. And please consider supporting the great companies that support our show, because honestly, without them, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you again for listening. Carolyn, anything you'd like to add?
Nope. We'll see you next week.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe out there.
From Cloud 10, Criminal Mischief is a Pie in the Sky production, recorded in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Branden Morgan and myself, music by Soundstripe. I'm Carolyn Osorio, your writer and host.